and welcome to Food Neighbourhoods on Monocle Radio. I'm Monica Lillis, and once again, we're taking you to the places locals love for their food and drink. If you're thinking of a continental excursion this winter, one place to head for culinary delights is Kraków. This picturesque city is at its best in the festive season, covered in a thick blanket of sparkling snow, and what better way to warm up than with a comforting plate of traditional pierogies. Here, Monocle's Flynn Symonds shows us his favourite spots in the city.
Kraków is one of Poland's most culturally rich cities. Its UNESCO-listed old town surrounds you with medieval architecture and is a joy to walk through both day and night. The streets that shoot off the square play host to a variety of cosy traditional restaurants serving Polish cuisine, as well as exciting modern eateries should you desire something a bit more familiar at an attractive Eastern European rate. Foodie or not, Poland offers a lively and imaginative tour for your taste buds. From cheesy carb-packed street food to a very affordable and delicious Italian restaurant that we'll get to later, there's sure to be something to satiate your hunger in Kraków. Our first official morning in Kraków, we headed to Citat Cafe, a cozy cafe filled with books and about a 20-minute walk from the old town. There was only one thing we wanted, a traditional Polish breakfast. Our expectations rose due to a number of people in the cafe, and even though we were told we would take about half an hour to 45 minutes to get our food, we thought that must mean the food was pretty damn good. If you aren't familiar with Polish breakfast, which I wasn't, the main difference from an English breakfast is the inclusion of cheese, both cottage cheese and sliced Gouda. I was skeptical at first, but the cottage cheese combined with the savoury scrambled eggs provided a nice, tangy contrast. Salad was another surprise, but it was a pleasant change to get some greens with breakfast, especially with the carbs we would have later in the day. Brick and cream-coloured facades looked like stencils against the crisp autumn sky as we walked through the old town square. The proud clock towers and steeples stood tall above us as we headed to try another Polish delicacy, pierogi. These boiled dumplings, filled with pork or a variety of vegetarian options, make for the perfect snack between breakfast and lunch. They arrived steaming hot, drizzled in golden butter. Nothing better to warm up your belly on a cold day. I recommend taking your hand-warming carton of pierogi and sitting among the fallen leaves in one of Krakow's many parks, where it feels like you're in an autumn postcard. The vendor we opted for was Przystanek Pierogania, which was yummy and quick, but pierogis are a dime a dozen in Kraków. And if you walk a few steps around the old town, you won't have trouble finding any. After warming your belly and kicking up leaves, get ready for a zapiekanka, a cheese-covered slice of bread, cut lengthwise and topped with everything from sausage to jalapenos, based on your preference. First, we tried the traditional version, with cheese, chives and mushrooms topped with Polish ketchup. Let me just say, these were a handful, or perhaps more accurately, 2 handsful. Even with the half-size portion, we had to guide them into our mouths with caution, as the generous toppings often fell off along the way. These make a great late-night snack option after a few cheap Polish beers, because there's nothing like hot carbs to satisfy the alcohol-fueled appetite. Head to Krakow's top square, or Plac Nowy, to find a huge variety of vendors to choose from. Don't worry about which window to go to first, you'll probably get the urge to try a couple more. Now, even if that tasty zapiekanka is threatening the integrity of the buttons on your shirt, you'll have to imagine a bit of room in your stomach for a paczki, a Polish donut. These are traditional pastries that are typically enjoyed on Tłusty Czwartek, or Fat Thursday, the Thursday before Lent. Though they are popular year-round, these can be found everywhere in Kraków, and if you didn't feel like one before, you certainly will after walking past the window of these stores. The tempting fillings combined with the glazed, powdered toppings is enough to persuade even the most satisfied appetite to have just one bite. Of course, we sampled the kiwi and pineapple, my personal favourite, but the flavours were plentiful, ranging from your staples like chocolate and custard to slightly more uncommon options like rose hip jam and rhubarb. So whatever your preference, they'll be hard to resist. After having walked through the old town and tried Poland's culinary delights, your mind is probably starting to drift towards one of Eastern Europe's biggest draws, cheap beer. And yes, Poland has plenty of it, and plenty of exciting bars to wash them back with. If you're in the mood for a bit of fun before dinner, you're best to head to the Cosmic Games pub, where you'll get unlimited access for as long as you like to games like air hockey, foosball and beer pong for only 8 quid. Or if you want something more low-key, try Retro, a cocktail bar with old school PlayStation and Nintendo games on offer. For a late night option, you could go with Alchemia, a cocktail bar that also has a live music venue downstairs with gigs happening almost every night. Once we had finished warming up for dinner, we headed to one of Krakow's most popular restaurants, Mamma Mia. I know what you're thinking, that doesn't sound Polish, and it's not, but after a day filled with Polish delights, why not take advantage of the high-quality Italian food at Polish prices? For our meal, we ordered a goat's cheese pizza and seafood pasta, both of which were incredible, especially after we saw the bill. Do bear in mind this place is very popular, so you will have to book in advance by a day or two. Or just be prepared to eat at a slightly earlier time. I'll wrap things up with both the last item on the menu, but also the greatest. Polish sausage from a trailer on the side of the road. Sausages from the Blue Nisa is a 2-man business run by 2 former tradesmen who thought, hey, maybe we should just start selling sausages. And thank God they did. This was by far the best food we had. The sausages had a crispy and charred skin, and once combined with the tangy mustard, was an absolute flavour explosion. Not to mention the fresh bread that also came as an add-on. If you eat one thing in Kraków, make sure it's this. Important to note that it only opens after 8 every evening, so a good option for refueling before you hit the pubs. And there you have it. A food-filled day in Kraków, a city with food culture that's as proud and magnificent as the medieval towers that watch over you in the square. For Monocle Radio, I'm Flynn Symonds.
Thanks, Flynn. Food Neighbourhoods is a Monocle production from the team behind the menu. This episode was written and edited by Jed and Flynn Symonds. For more food and drink stories, tune into the menu every Friday at 2000 London time. I'm Monica Lillis, thanks for listening.